Tropical storm Hilary is blowing through Southern California tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kirsten Holmes.
And I'm Steve Price. We've been tracking this storm throughout the weekend. Here's a live look at Ramona right now, and we're going to be checking in soon with CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez, who is out in that area. But first, let's go ahead and head over to Mount Laguna.
Yeah, our mountain areas were projected to get a lot of wind and a lot of rain. CBS 8's Abby Black is out there right now. Abby, the mountain microclimates, we're expecting a lot. How are things looking?
Kirsten and Steve, it's an on and off situation. We'll see it kind of calm down, the wind calm down, then the wind will pick up, and then that's when we see another heavy downpour, and that's what's happening right now. Fortunately, we've not seen a lot of people on the road. As you know, when it's snowing here up at Mount Laguna at the lodge, many people stop by. It gets packed up here, but that's not the case here for this hurricane and tropical storm that's sweeping through the area, especially in East County, where the brunt of the storm is really hitting hard here in East County. As we were driving up here, we left Kearney Mesa around 12:45 this afternoon, where it was still really calm, where all of us were kind of anxious and waiting for that storm to come through San Diego. It was pretty dry. We went through Pine Valley, you got some little sprinkles, a little bit of drizzling, and then we made our way up through Sunrise Highway, and that's where we saw there wasn't a lot of debris per se or flooded streets, but that's when we started to see some rocks falling onto the road. Not those big boulders, but enough for you to kind of try to drive out of the way, and that's where you really have to be cautious. Now, especially that it's starting to get dark, you do not want to try to be out here on the road, as with this rain, these roads are slick, the visibility will be low. We've seen a lot of fog out here in this area as we were driving up here, and this rain is still just whipping around. We talked to Tom here at the lodge, who's been up here for years, and he says this is quite a weather event.
I mean, usually when it's like this, it's a thunderstorm. It's not a hurricane, but it's nice. It's not real cold, but it's wet, and it's not much traffic. Nobody's coming up to enjoy it very much.
And as Tom said, yes, there have not been a lot of visitors up here, which is a good thing. We know that this is the brunt of the storm, but people are staying home and heeding our advice that you need to stay home and stay off the roads, because again, while the eye of the storm may have moved through, these winds, I can really feel it, and I'm kind of a little tucked under over here. I can still really feel those winds whipping up, and it's just not safe to be out here, and you'll get soaked.
Yeah, we can see that bar on the side of Abby blowing in the wind, the tree branches as well. The rain still coming down out there. A lot of people think, oh, the storm's over. Not so much.
Not so much. All right, so let's bring in CBS 8's Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis. We have been tracking Hilary all weekend. Hilary's here. Where's she going next?
Hilary's going to continue to move towards the north, and she has Nevada in her path. So we're talking about being on the backside of this storm system. We already had the brunt. We had the heaviest. It started to move in around, I want to say, like 2 o'clock into about 5 o'clock, and we had those downpours, and we even had a tornado warning that was issued, and that was near Alpine because one of those feeder pans did show some rotation with a strong thunderstorm. The latest with Hilary, it is moving towards the north, and it's racing towards the north at 23 miles per hour. Maximum sustained wind speeds are at 50 miles per hour, and it's about 25 miles to the south-southwest of Palm Springs, California, where they are getting the brunt of it right now. You're talking about strong gusty winds as well as a lot of rainfall. Hilary will maintain tropical storm status as we hit tonight at 11 p.m. It made landfall, that center circulation over San Diego County a couple hours ago, and so we were talking about this system moving in. We were dealing with a lot of heavy rainfall ahead of it, but there's moisture behind it, and that's what's going to bring even more rainfall. So we're still talking about wet weather in the forecast through tonight, post-tropical with Hilary as we hit tomorrow over northern Nevada. Over the last 6 hours, we've been seeing an influx of moisture. You'll notice the green gets a little bit lighter as we hit right now, but still talking about light to moderate rainfall. We did have those stronger pockets of rainfall that moved through earlier today. It even prompted flash flood warnings across the county. We still have a flood watch because of additional rainfall. We'll go ahead and take a look at how much we received so far coming up. Kirsten and Steve.
Thank you for that, Carlene. Okay, so with all of this rain, a big concern was the Mission Valley area, which is prone to flooding.
CBS 8's Brian White is there right now with what it's like in that area. Brian.
Steve and Kirsten, we've seen some steady rain and some wind out here. It's picked up a little bit. The raindrops are getting a little heavier, a little more windier out here in recent minutes. But altogether, nothing too heavy, nothing too crazy so far. We want to go ahead and show you some of the flooding here on Avenida del Rio. The water has been flowing over the road here as the San Diego River continues to rise. Take a look at some of the video photographer Jordan Ray shot of the flooding here over the past hour. Last check, the San Diego River was over 5 feet and still rising, but altogether not as bad as we previously thought it was going to get out here. Still not something you want to try crossing by foot or in a car. We have seen lifeguards posted up out here off and on to monitor the flooding, and barricades have been set up as this road is one of about 9 road closures in the Mission Valley area. Now, we caught up with Ricardo Vargas. He lives in nearby apartments here, and here's what he had to say about the weather.
We prepared to hunker down. I was able to get some water, some food and whatnot before all of this happened. But I expected it to be worse. I expected it to be windy. But honestly, it looks like everybody's going on with their life. There's people at Fashion Valley shopping like nothing is going on. So, hey, looks like we're going to make it through.
Now back out here live, you can see the water rushing over the road here. And as far as traffic out on the wet roads here in Mission Valley, we've seen some cars, but not a whole lot. It seems that most people are staying hunkered down in their homes right now. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you for that, Brian. Okay, so the deserts are getting hit especially hard during this storm.
Yeah, we knew that that area was going to be hit particularly hard. So right now we're going to go ahead and send things over to CBS 8's Andy Judson. She is live in Palm Springs. Andy, man, you have been out in some brutal conditions all day, and by the way you're holding your hat there, I'm guessing it's still pretty rough out there.
It is really rough out here. Actually, I want to show you what's happening behind me. There is a flash flood warning in place, and I feel like we're very much experiencing it. Let me step out of the camera here so you can see. Actually, last time we came to you, we were right in the middle of this, and just within the last 10 minutes, this has expanded to twice as much as it was. So you can just get an idea of how much water just comes in quickly, and you can get an idea of why this road that we're here on is blocked off. We're on Vista Chino Road in Palm Springs, and you can just see how quickly this water moves in and how much of it moves in all so fast. So it's a really good example of turn around, don't drown. Your car is not a boat, because that is why we actually have an officer behind us blocking off this road, making sure no one drives down here. So it shows that, you know, in the desert, it's all sand, so it doesn't quite soak in like in other parts of California. So this is how this water just comes in so quickly, and why it's such an issue for flooding here in Palm Springs and the desert areas throughout California when we have these storms. But we're really experiencing Hilary right now, just probably the strongest, one of the strongest it's been since we've been out here for the last couple of hours. So we'll continue to keep you updated out here, but I'll send it back to you in studio.
You know, Andy, in the live shot before yours, we had a reporter down in the Mission Valley area, and just within an hour between his live shots, the water was much rougher going across the road. Now we're seeing your live shot, and that water is much rougher going across the road. This kind of shows folks at home how quickly the situations can change when we're in these types of rain events.
Yeah, exactly. We actually were standing probably in the middle of how fast this water moved, and we've moved up since then. So I'm actually hearing on my phone another flash flood warning for this area. So at least they're being on top of telling the public here. But yeah, it's a really good example of how quickly that water can move in here.
All right, you got to be careful for those flash flooding. Be careful out there, Andy. You guys stay safe, and thank you for bringing us the latest from Palm Springs.
Really dangerous situations out there. Okay, we are going to be hearing from an SDG&E spokesperson coming up right after the break to give you a closer look at how their crews are responding to the increasing power outages that we now have around the county.
And just a reminder, for the latest weather alerts, you can get those right to your phone. All you have to do is download the free CBS 8 app. It's available in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Stick around. We'll be right back.